You know, it's funny. I was talking to Eric about this the other day.
Were you?
I said Jacob threw a poopy fit because been around the guys all day. I said Jacob threw a hissy fit the other day because I said Reese's cup. He says Reese's. I went, what do you say when you want one of those, Eric? He said, it's a damn Reese's cup, man. I'm like, thank you. All right. When you get the pieces, right? We say Reese's Pieces is what we say. I guess Jacob says Reese's Pieces. Oh man, come on. I don't know.
Would you like some Grey Poupon as well, Jacob?
With your Reese's Pieces. You gotta sit up straight and tuck your chin in when you say it, just to make it pronounced right. Mandy, is it Reese's or Reese's? How do you say it? Be honest.
Okay, don't.
When you're talking about Reese's Pieces, Reese's.
All right. Okay. First of all, don't get Miss Beals into this. All right.
Now you be honest. You may agree with Jacob. Do you say Reese's?
Jacob, we're within driving distance.
Yes, ma'am.
Come down there and whoop that ace.
Sorry, Miss Mandy.
You see how she did that? She didn't cuss. She said ace. Come down and whoop that ace.
I'm gonna go sweep. I'm gonna go sweep the kitchen.
So if it was just a human named Reese, it's Reese.
Hold on. The chat has spoken, guys. Come on now.
So I think I agree with. I actually, unfortunately, now agree with Jacob, but we're gonna call it Reese's.
There you go. So we're gonna have to end the stream early so I can get a separate flight home. All right, so that's gonna work. So,
thank you, dude. I feel a lot
Brother, you gotta leave Jacob alone.
Come on, Cheesehead Murph, let's go.
Cheesehead Murph,
Reese, and Murph. I'm pretty sure. Now Murph isn't in Wisconsin, but I don't think he's technically down here in Red Neck. So Jacob is right. It says STM40. We need to put a poll question up, don't we?
Oh man,
no, let's not waste our time with this. I know Jacob's gonna win that probably because nobody talks Red Neck.
Oh.
All right, up next. We've got Colin Oliver. It was
hey guys, real quick. The first lawn snapper just went. I gotta announce that for this chat.
We're 2-0 for this. You know he's
Julian Ashby from Vanderbilt has went to the New England Patriots with pick 251.
More importantly, Jason Wise says feces.
You see Marjan Cross.
They do look like rabbit turds.
Marjan Cross and Jacob is a Reese's. That's a lot of it. That's gonna do it, guys. See y'all tomorrow.
All right, y'all have a good night. See you.
Oh gosh. All right, so we struggled to find a little bit of information on Colin Oliver, so we found the stats card for him. All right, and so here's what we got. 2024, man, Colin Oliver. He only played 80 snaps, but he scored an 88.6. All right, so let's throw that out the window since it's less than 100 snaps. In 2023, he was a 73.0. 2022, a 71.5. Edge defender out of Oklahoma State. All right. Last year, it's going to show those numbers, so I wish we could get the 2023 comparables. But the 2024 comparables on 80 snaps, 90.8 pass rush grade with a true pass rush grade of 85.4 and a pass rush win rate of 31.8%. And then his run defense grade was around 67.7. So another edge defender that Goody has added to the mix here. Jacob, I'll leave with you this time, man. What do you think about Colin Oliver? You got anything on him?
Yeah, I did. If you guys remember, this was one of my late round gems that I highlighted, and I specifically highlighted the fact that he had a 31.8% pass rush win rate, although it was on 2 weeks of work. But I did also highlight the fact that in years prior, he was very solid there. He has a lot of production, 27 hurries, 28 hurries. I just the run stop rate's not exactly what we want there, but you look at his pass rush grade, it's a 90.8, run defense grade of a 67.7. Like, okay, dude, that's cool. I'll take that. If you go and watch his tape, it's interesting watching an edge defender wearing number 30, but you see him kind of evading blocks. You see him actually being able to take on blocks when he doesn't evade them, kind of thing, and he actually impresses me quite a bit. So we did not have a lot to see him in 2024, but if anything indicates of what he did with those 2 weeks, and again, one of them was against the South Dakota, the Jackrabbits, and then one though was against the Razorbacks. So it's not like he was playing against the St. Kate's School for the Blind, you know?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And Jason Y says 974 RAS. Is that
Get her
correct?
done. I think
what's
that's
up
true.
right there.
Yep.
Good stuff. Good pull there, Jason Y. What do you think, Tim? Colin Oliver, edge defender, man.
I mean, we're looking at 2 games from 2024, right? So you got to go back a little bit to really look at them. But I think you see a progress year after year. And I've heard some sentiment that clearly this is a draft for depth, overall at a lot of these position groups. But I think Colin Oliver could be kind of an underrated difference maker in this Halfley defense. Again, we got to see what he looks like at camp and preseason. That's the best time of the year for me. It's like Christmas all over again. You get your first look at these prospects in their NFL fatigues and with NFL competition. And I think I've got a feeling I've heard him referred to as undersized. I'm not a big believer in that being a determining factor with players because we've seen undersized players at every position group in this league find success throughout history. So I think Colin Oliver could be a difference maker in the making. So
Tim, what's crazy is if you look at his numbers right here and you stretch them out over the actual 14 or maybe 13 games, look at those numbers. He had 2 sacks in 2 games, whereas the year before, where you consider that he had actually good production, he had only 7. He had 2 hits, with the year prior only 7 hurries, 10 hurries. You know what I mean? Look that over. And again, this wasn't against small competition. This was decent competition. Yeah. I'm excited about that, man. That's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Drew D in the chat says, I want offensive tackle Logan Brown from Kansas as an undrafted free agent. We've got Logan Brown with a 201.4 grade. He was a Senior Bowl participant. Packers met with him at the Senior Bowl, and he meets the athletic threshold. So that 201.4 would kind of suggest, all right, somewhere around a 200 pick would be a pretty decent pick for him. So if you're getting him as an undrafted free agent, I'm on board with that, Drew. He asks, who do you guys want in undrafted free agents?
Sean Dolak.
All right, Emilio wants Sean Dolak. Tim, do you have one? Anybody come to mind for you that might not get picked?
I hate to be boring, but Logan Brown is a name that pops into my head, and I think it's a realistic possibility. How many picks are left? He hasn't fallen off the board yet, has he? Okay, 2 picks left.
It's not.
Okay, so I'm gonna steal Drew's thunder there and co-sign that one for sure.
Good stuff. All right. So Jacob, this is a question I think Drew was ready to ask you, sir. But who do you got here, undrafted free agents? You go, man, I hope they go get this dude.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
A couple.
And you can't say Shadir Sanders anymore.
Whatever. Whatever. So I would say Nick Nash would be a nice one. Isaiah Bond is still out there. Not saying I want it. I'm just saying that's interesting. Luke Kandra. The best one on our board by far right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jared Ivey is still out there somehow. Jared Ivey is up in the tier 7. That's crazy. We still have Zy Alexander, Kobe Bryant, Melo Dotson, Jay Higgins, Clay Webb. I personally, I would love if we got Jalen Conyers. I just absolutely love what he's done. He is the H-back that I thought Josiah DeGuara was supposed to be. He's not like Savon Williams. He can take he can do the wildcat. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. He can just block. He can do everything. He's Taysom Hill, a little bit shorter but more athletic. I would love it. I got a lot of guys out there. Drew D is saying that Ivy is out there as well. So, man, I'm pretty excited with this draft here. And again, I cannot tell you guys if I can show you. I haven't got to update it in the last 10 minutes, but we crush this. It's absolutely there is nobody left up top other than 3 or 4 guys. That's it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it, man. All right, so only 1 pick left. It's the Patriots, and Jared Ivey still hasn't been taken, nor has Logan Brown. So there we go. All right, moving along here to the next draft pick was Warren Brinson out of Georgia, right? Defensive tackle, to the best of my knowledge. PFF is showing him at 6'4", 310 pounds. Go check the RAS card for the exact measurements. Starting in 2020, 44.5, 67.7, 72.3. 2023 jumps all the way to a 79.1. And then 2024 falls back to a 73.9, which is still a solid grade here. Like I said, interior defensive lineman, a run defense grade of 75.5, pass rush grade of 65.1, and a overall defensive grade, like we said, of 73.9. We'll start with you this time, Tim. What do you think about that pick with Warren Brinson? Goody was going to get some defensive linemen. He's just going to do it a little later. What?
That's what the sentiment I had when we left today. I thought, wow, this is a defensive day, and that's what we got. And I think here we go, another Bulldog, right? Another Georgia Bulldog drafted by Goody. So Brinson, Drew D, right on schedule, 8.99 RAS. So there's some explanation for this pick right there. Pretty decent RAS score, and I guess I was just wrong. I thought we'd go this route maybe a little bit earlier. We certainly, the brass at 1265 had other plans, and I think it worked out for the best. Honestly, what the hell do I know, right? We got our receivers. We got better on the O line, and I think we've got some depth now at D line, especially with guys like TJ Slayton not in the mix anymore, and you've got some uncertainty with some of the other guys. So I like the Warren Brinson pick a lot. What about you, Excelio?
Yeah, I like it a lot too. I think what got me thinking about that was at dinner the other night, Clay, when they were asking Bull about, what would you think about playing with Nazir again? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, Stackhouse, we had him as a D lineman. He's from Georgia as well. Okay, maybe that could be another target down the road.
I don't mean to cut you off. Explain what you mean by him saying that at dinner. You overheard him say that to Drew Rosenhaus and another gentleman at the dinner table across from them.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think they were asking Bull, saying, hey, well, how would it be, if Nazir came or something along those lines? And it just kind of got me thinking like, hey, that really could be a possibility here. I mean, we could go D-line. It could be a Georgia. And when looking at the board, I was all right, well, that's kind of really, really far down on ours, kind of a later guy. But it doesn't end up being him. It ends up being Warren. I'm not mad at that at all. You get a dog from, a championship caliber team. He's gone to that well before. It's a Georgia well. He's used to it. He's familiar with it. Goody is, and I think it's another good poll, another one to bring in competition, man. And what we saw a lot was, -5 RAS, -5 RAS, -3. Like Goody got a lot of guys with high RAS, as it seemed later in the draft this year as well.
Yep.
What about you, Jacob? How you feeling about Warren Brinson out of Georgia?
I'll be honest. That was the first. I sent you guys a text message. You didn't respond. It's not a big deal. I don't even care about it. I literally said, I was like, this is the first one. I had no idea who this was. I didn't look into him whatsoever. Didn't even recognize the name. I'm not gonna BS you guys. But when I look down, of course, he is on the board. He's down there, just in the quite a bit farther down. Thank you. Yeah, no, like I said, you guys absolutely crushed it. When you look at his PFF grades, it's like you understand exactly why the Packers did what they did here. 6'4", 310. Georgia, like all the signs point to it. Even, hey, you know what? Even somebody that I trust more than my father, Daryl, said that he's never heard of Brinson. So when you want to hear, that's what I'm saying, man. We're on the same page here, and I really like it though. When you watch him, I actually pull up his YouTube. Even if you just want to look at his highlights, you see a glimpse of what he can do, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. I think that might be the closest thing to a TJ Slayton replacement. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. They're probably going to get him to play 1 sec out of Mandy running the damn chainsaw to get started.
Come on, Manders.
Yeah, to play 1 sec, I would imagine is the plan there, right? Let him kind of work him along there a little bit. I don't think he's going to be contributing significant snaps anytime soon, but who knows, man? He may go into camp and you look up and go, "Hey, this dude's a dog," right?
Hey, this makes me feel better. Coach says, "Me too." No clue who Brinson was. Thank you. I feel all right.
There you go. All right, so got a little company there for sure. All right, moving on to the next one. This is one I'm kind of excited about. As we said, we literally mentioned him live on the stream just a second ago, and 10 seconds later, the pick came in, and we had taken Micah Robinson, cornerback out of Tulane. All right, 6 foot, 184. He's a senior this year. 2020 grade was a 56.2, but minimal snaps. Look at the grades here, guys. Starting in 21, 75.2, 73.5, 69.8, and then this year he jumped all the way to an 84.3. He was the 23rd highest graded cornerback in all of college football. All of college football. Keep in mind, I feel comfortable saying 80%, maybe even 90% of college football teams have just switched to a nickel defense. They don't even hardly go to their base at all because it's such a wide open offensive attack in college football and fast paced. They just like to keep their nickel defenses on the field. So when you think about that, that's 3 corners per every team that's on the field, right? How many teams in college football, roughly, Division I, Amelia?
126.
126. So 126. Would you see the way he was in 126 and only 15 had a 90-plus card on Ultimate Team?
No, but to that point, though, I do stay in nickel about 95% of the time.
Is that not,
Oh
so
my
it's
God.
even higher than I said. So if you take 3 corners on the field for every team, right, and you times that by 126, round it up, whatever you want to do, he was 23rd out of that total number. So, and again, you say, okay, Tulane's kind of a smaller school. Do we remember who got drafted from Tulane last year? Was it not? Am I thinking right? Was it?
That was quarterback.
Quarterback.
That was our quarterback.
No, I was thinking
Quinyon Mitchell.
Quinyon. Was he?
Oh, no, he was Toledo.
Toledo.
Quinyon
Okay,
Mitchell
got
was
him mixed
Toledo, but our
up.
quarterback did come from Tulane.
That's right,
The
Matt.
one that got us banned on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Still mad at that guy. He ain't on the roster. Of all the videos to get us banned on YouTube, it was the 7th round quarterback we broke down that ended up not making it out of training camp. That's
Worth it.
Michael Pratt. There it is.
that's
Michael
time and
Pratt.
effort well spent. I don't want to hear his name ever again.
You'll say that.
You'll say that. So, what do you think? What do you think about that one, Jacob? Micah Robinson, man, this is a dude that he might jump up and surprise people.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm just a little bit disappointed in myself that I didn't find him as a late round gem. Maybe I did. I did. Yeah, never mind. I knew him. He was a late round gem. I highlighted it. You guys are crazy because you didn't notice. No, but I mean, honestly, all jokes aside, 84.3. I don't care where you're playing. That's a good grade. And let's say Drew D saying the Tulane defense was 28th in the country in points per game allowed. I think that will do quite nice there. Yeah.
I want to say, did we do? Yeah, we did a write up for him too, right? On our Patreon group.
I believe so.
By the way, if you want to join our Patreon group, scan the QR code in the upper right. That'll send you to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. It's the best way to support the show. $3 a month. And you can do it month to month. You can get an annual membership, get a little bit of a price break on that. Get you access to everything there. Chalk talks, film breakdown. It's just a good way to stay plugged in, and again, a way for us to give a little extra content to the people that want to support the channel. So anyway, I did a write-up on there, and I specifically remember, I'm almost positive, they played Navy, and he was such a good tackler, if I remember correctly. Yeah, look at his run defense grade, 90. There you go. That they put him to safety because Navy runs that triple option, right? So they put him at safety, and he dominated. So pretty cool that they when they went against a run-heavy team, they said, all right, let's put our best player right in the center of our defense to help control this running game of Navy. I thought that was really good. So, Tim, what do you think about Michael Robinson? Then we'll pass it down to Amelia.
Well, you guys remember my reaction. We got a corner. We got a corner. Another day 1 or 2 guy that I thought we might see, or I shouldn't say guy, position group that I thought we might target. But obviously, we talk about that over and over again, that the board's going to fall how the board falls. We saw a lot of pre-draft maneuvering. We saw trades. We saw trades during the draft. Guys stacking up on picks. Teams, dumping picks, maneuvering. So things kind of unfolded a little bit differently than we had expected. But looking at this in hindsight, I'm really happy about the Micah Robinson pick. This reminds me a lot of the. Oh my God, I got all these names floating in my head. Our 7th rounder last year at corner.
Kalen King.
Kalen King. This is like Kalen King. This is late round. Grab a corner, bring him to camp, see what he does. If he hops his way onto the team, great. If not, practice squad, great. This is just, again, Goody doing due diligence and making me look stupid for saying that there's no corner value late in this draft. And here we are again getting value at corner late in the draft.
And Tim, not to beat a dead horse, but do you think that this is a signal, the fact that they didn't go cornerback early, that Ja is going to be in-house, my friend? Do you think that?
Took it down the sideline, turned over with my guys, gave the football to a little kid wearing 23.
He has been waiting the entire show to hit
Yeah,
that.
he's been waiting to hit that
He
note.
waited for that question. Jake.
Ask me again how I feel after June 1st, please.
All right, then.
But no, I'm leaning towards that right now, and it would be amazing if Ja came back and just balled out and was healthy, and we got 14 to 16, 17 games out of him this year, and it would be great. But if not, we have contingencies in place. Let's not forget about the Nate Hobbs signing in free agency, adding more depth to that corner room. And I, for one, am not in the camp of having little faith in these corners. We love what we saw from Carrington Valentine last year. I know I'm not alone in that sentiment. Feel how you want about Keyshawn Nixon. The guy can be a dog for you on that defensive position, whether it's boundary or in the slot, rotational. So I think really the statement is that, much like, we thought about the defensive side of the ball as a whole, is that Goody feels good about these guys and the talent that's in the building right now. He's reiterated it several times throughout this draft process. So, whether Jaws remains or doesn't, I think we should feel really good about this secondary. Just like Emilio mentioned earlier when we started the show.
Anything else on Michael Robinson there, Emilio?
We had him 440 on our vertical board. Cornerback out of Tulane. Packers met with him 30 visit. He had a 225 PFF in 22, 23, 408. Last year in 24, he was 23rd. Really what brought him down on the board. Consensus big board had him 680. We didn't have one for PFF. And Dane Brugler would have been a late round pick with a 0 RAS. So it would have been below 7.
Oh my God! All right, since we're talking corner, put that on the screen for me there, Tim. Look at what Robbie said here. Oh, no, you want the?
I thought you wanted the Princess comment.
Oh, got you. Well, we hadn't hit on the Robbie one. Let's hit that Robbie one real quick. The one where because I didn't know that. Is that news to? Oh, I got you. You were hitting Prince first.
Yeah.
He said, "Wonder what Rob Demoski's thinking right now." Look at this one. This is news to me. Robbie in the chat says Matt Schneidman at Matt Schneidman. Matt LaFleur says Jair Alexander participated in team's virtual first week of voluntary off-season work. Now, I want to mention that. That's important because both Wildy and Rob, I believe, this week said there's no way he's going to attend that, right? Like they wasn't saying there's no chance he's going to attend. He's just like they were kind of asking, like, if he attends that, now we got to really start thinking, okay, he's probably going to be on the roster. That's exciting, Jacob. That fires me up right there, and that explains why we didn't go corner earlier. We talked about it all off season, all draft season. It's like, man, if you could tell me Jair's going to be here, I'm not going and trying to push a corner. You know, if the right one falls, great. But if there's a better player on the board, you stick to the board. And the fact that Goody did that, and he also participated, Jair Alexander participated in the voluntary off-season program there. Again, it's virtual, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's a good sign, Jacob. I think it's a great sign.
Those conversations have been going pretty well, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, that means he's coming back, and get all too excited. We can't go too extreme in one side or the other, but it's definitely, if I had to tilt my meter, no, I'm going back to like a 60-40, going back to a 60-40, baby. And honestly, and Jair is probably looking around the league. He's probably looking at what we have at that on our team, and he's probably saying, damn, that's a good team. I kind of want to be a part of this. What's going on right here? Especially because he doesn't want to mess up. He's guaranteed to get some money right now if he doesn't mess it up. So like, all right, sit here, dude. Take your money, play the game. If you are going to want to get out of Green Bay, then do it next year. If for some reason if the wheels fall off and the Packers end up looking like a bunch of idiots over there, but I don't feel like that's going to happen. I think he's starting to see the writing on the wall, and he sees, well, you know what? This is a pretty darn good team I want to be a part of. And I'm cool. I'm ready to let bygones be bygones and just come back in, put your helmet on, strap it up. Let's go, Ja. I won't say nothing.
And you got to think about it too. Like Rob Demovsky was talking to someone in his camp, in Jair's camp, and with the Packers, right? And it was Jair did not want to restructure his contract to make it easier to trade. And then from the Packers camp, it was they hadn't received any enough trade offers yet. I guess you could say a high enough trade offer. So maybe again, he just kind of sat there and was like, you know what? No one's willing to go out and give up a substantial amount of draft picks for me. They're probably not going to give me a new contract. I'm already living here. Why don't we just, why don't we just stay put? Could be it. So, and Drew D says, I think it's more like 90-10 Jair is staying now. I hope you're right, Drew. Man,
I like that.
hope you're right.
I like that a lot.
All right, next prospect. We'll try to wind this thing down here. I'm exhausted. We got to be at the airport at 4 a.m. in the morning. That's the bad news, but the good news is be able to do a live show tomorrow when we get home. So we'll get back on the normal schedule here. John Williams was the final draft pick for the Packers. 6'5", 320 on the PFF card. You could, like I said, go check the RAS to make sure that's accurate. 2020, 53.2, but, minimal snaps. 2021, 42.8, minimal snaps. 2022, 52.7, minimal snaps. But then in 2023, he ends up being the 50th, I believe it was, highest graded tackle. If I'm looking at that, might have been 150. PFF graded 60. Was it 50? Wow. Yep. 69.2 was the grade. And then this year, he jumps all the way to a 75.3, where he was, what would that be? 32nd. Pass block grade of 86.3, Emilio. They building the wall, man. They're doing it later.
I've been trying to say.
Let me ask you this. Does he beat out Travis Glover?
There's the real question. The real question.
I don't know. I think I'm at the stick with my boy Glover. I think Belton has a better chance than that. But it would be just the goody thing that 7th round pick and the 2nd round pick doesn't work out. So the 7th rounder is the one that ends up being the the full-time starter, get paid and all that. So I'm excited because Goody got a good eye for picking offensive linemen. So I'm happy with anyone that he brings into this organization and gets him cranking.
So we're calling him a tackle, right? Because I've seen him listed as a guard. I've seen him listed as a tackle, depending on where you're looking.
That's great.
I guess we'll figure out once we get to camp,
right?
To see
and
where
if
he's
you think
lining
about
up.
it, we paid Banks, right? But you don't want to pay him forever.
Yep.
You would like one of these guys to hit. And again, we go back to the fact of we signed a corner, we brought in a corner. We signed a guard, we brought in some alignment. It's like he does like to hit that kind of spot after you brought in a free agent.
Yeah, and we've got John Williams listed as an offensive tackle on our big board. And again, team captain, check. Packers met with him at the East-West Shrine Bowl, check. Meets the athletic threshold, check. In a top 30 business, check. So
Perfect.
Any fan with the comment of the night, we just can't put it on the screen. I thought that was an awesome little comment there, Ethan. I got to give you props there talking about what was popping in Green Bay this week. That got to get a little big left me. So, Tim, Jacob, anything else you want to add on John Williams here, man?
Kind of surprised we took 2 tackles. That was shocking to me in general. But I think we got a good player here. I really do. I don't have much to add on him because I haven't watched a lot of tape. Didn't expect to see him drafted. So I look forward to Chalk Talk, Clayton. We're going to do prospect by prospect Chalk Talks and, really watch some film and kind of break this down. But it is cool to see that it really does. I'm looking at PFF. I mean, it looks like he's a pure tackle. So I doubt that they're going to kick him inside to guard. But if they had to, I guess, if he's versatile enough to do it, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen that happen. So
Char Larry says Travis Glover's our new H-back. There you go.
There we go.
And then Drew D says Rasheed Walker's going to walk. We're not paying him. That's what it feels like. It really does. Jake,
And then get your comp pick for him, right?
Yeah, definitely get a comp pick especially if he gets paid good. Him and Dobbs both. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I think it's fair. You guys know I love Walker, and I'm kind of a little bit upset with the way we're treating him, just like he's yesterday's trash. I tell you, he's a 7th round draft pick. Darn it, he deserves to be treated with respect. Now, but also, all kidding aside, this is the game, man. Goody, this is a business. You got to get guys that are coming up back in the hopper. It is what it is. Can I really quick? I mean, I think it's worth just listing what we actually did here because. We went wide receiver in the 1st, offensive tackle / guard, I guess, in the 2nd, wide receiver in the 3rd, edge in the 4th, linebacker in the 5th, D tackle in the 6th, cornerback in the 7th, offensive tackle in the 7th. Didn't trade, didn't do anything crazy. Jair didn't get traded. Once the dust settles, it's a little bit interesting to see that, that's how it fell. I don't think that anybody – do you have any updates on the mock draft and if anyone was even close to this?
So Emilio was coming through it earlier, and we got to double check everything, but it sounds like
From what I saw earlier, it looked like 3 people had 1 pick correct. Not excluding any of the rounds, just having 3 of the correct names on the board. Each person had 1 of them. So
did anybody get the round correct too?
that I believe Jerry would have the first round Matthew Golden pick.
So that was the only one that was the accurate round.
Correct.
So if I'm understanding correctly, we had 3. If you guys are wondering, in our Patreon group, just another perk to be in the Patreon group, we do little giveaways and kind of side games or whatever, competitions. We had a mock draft contest. Everybody puts in a 7-round mock draft from the Packers. Okay, so what are the Packers going to do? It sounds like 3 different people hit on 1 pick each. So then the tiebreaker. So they each got 1 right. So the tiebreaker would go to which one. Did you get the round right? If you got the round right, then you advance. Okay. So if they all 3 got the exact round, then we'll put all 3 of their names on a wheel and spin it and do it that way. Okay. But like he said, Jerry Wise Corbly obviously got Matthew Golden in the first round. So if the other 2 did not get the round correct, then the way we'll do that is it goes to Jerry Wise Corbly because she was the most accurate mock draft. You think that's fair, Jacob?
Yeah, I think that's fair. As you guys are talking, I don't mean to just randomly switch the subject, but like Chris the Casual, and this was crazy. Like he said, very odd draft picks. Not many we spent a lot of time on, if any. And I'm sitting here trying to sit here. We didn't. We really did. We had spent probably the most time on Anthony Belton. That's probably who we spent the most time on. Anthony Belton and John Williams. Other than that, we did not get the highlight. And I'm not saying that because we did so much work. Emilio did so much work. You guys did so much work. It's just a testament to like Goody is he's gonna surprise you every freaking year. It's just insane.
That's the thing, though. If you look at it, we actually hit on all of them, like the large majority of them. Here's what I mean. Matthew Golden, we did an article. You can find it on Patreon.
Yep.
Top 30 visit, we did a deep dive on it, right? Anthony Belton, top 30 visit, we did a deep dive on it. Savion Williams, we had no clue, right? I don't think we were on him at all. Baron Sorrell, we were not, right? No top 30 visit?
That's correct.
Okay. And then Colin Oliver, no top 30 visit. Warren Brinson, no top 30 visit. Micah Robinson was a top 30 visit. We did an article on him, did a portion of the episode or an episode, dedicated to him. And then John Williams was a top 30 visit we did there as well. So essentially what we ended up doing was, in terms of deep dives and breakdowns on this specific show, Matthew Golden, Anthony Belton, Micah Robinson, and John Williams. So we did a deep dive on 4 of our how many draft picks, guys?
8.
So we got half of them that we looked into pretty significantly. I agree with what Chris is saying. It was kind of felt different. Definitely
it did.
Felt weird.
Yeah, I guess that's what I meant. It's not that we didn't highlight them. I just meant that it's not exactly how, if I shook my magic 8-ball, that this would be the result.
Exactly. All right, so we'll get ready to wrap up here. We're gonna dive into these draft picks even deeper as the week goes along. I'm gonna try to get busy as soon as I get back on some Chalk Talk content, that type of thing. So, that's the other one. Yeah, Paul Smith. Who was it? Easton Butler had messaged me and told me this. Savion Williams actually said he was a top 30 visit with the Packers.
Yep.
So we talk about how you get those coming in. So, Emilio, would he have been a gold bar with the top 30? I don't know if he would have
Savion.
been. Was he a Senior Bowl guy?
He was. Yes, he was.
Yeah, so he would have been
Senior
a
Bowl captain. He would have gotten the cheese and the 30 visit.
So
he just didn't hit He would have hit threshold though.
Yeah, he would have hit threshold.
I think we missed that one. I think if we would have, he would have had gold bar.
Yeah. If we had known he was a top 30 visit, he was a gold bar. So that would have been
5 out of 8.
Yeah, I don't know. That would have
4 out of 8. Or wait, that would.
We're talking about gold bars though.
Oh,
I think it would have been
3. 2. It'd be 3.
Yeah, so we would have hit 3 out of 8 this year. Last year we were 2 of 7.
Yep.
So,
dude, that's pretty freaking good.
Yeah. Now we took it a step further with the threshold this year, and did the spades. We didn't get any spades, did we?
Negative. No.
So that was something we tried this year, and now we took a step back with the top 30 visit and the Senior Bowl, and that still held true this year. Yeah, so that would have been, again, if you could have found action to put on those players specifically, if you like to put a little money on the draft, you could have picked all 8 of those players, put an even amount of units on it, and came away 3 out of 8. You'd have made yourself a pretty penny. So, yeah. I'm sure Drew appreciate Clayton talking gambling. He got a picture of me on the screen. Appreciate that. So now I just want to highlight this real quick before we wrap up. I thought this was awesome. We ran into Drew D right before we left as we were literally heading to the gate.
Yep.
There's Drew with Loki, right?
Yep.
Loki. So we got a picture. There's another picture we got of him too, where it looks like he's trying to bite my hand. He's not. We were just, we were chilling, we were hanging out. But it was funny. Loki looks up. He's looking up at me. I'm looking down, and his mouth's wide open, like he's going to take my hand off.
He spotted the sombrero. He was looking. He said my best bet's just to look for that, and he found me. That was impressive, honestly.
Absolutely. And again, we got to meet Mike Berry. Appreciate you taking the time to meet up with us, man. And then also there toward the end, we were standing right before we met with Drew. We were standing over in front of the draft stage, and we got it's Teapot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Teapot. So, lady right here is Teapot from Chicago. She messaged us on Patreon. She's a member of our Patreon group and was like, "Hey guys, where you at?" And we were over next to the draft stage. She came out and hung out with us. It was absolutely awesome. Just a pleasure getting to meet you. Thank you so much. And obviously, TPOC stands for the power of cheese. I love it. So really, really appreciate it. This is what she said. At least we finally got a corner. She's like, I could care less about this picture you want me to post, but we got us a corner. It was great to meet all of you too. Both JJ McCarthy and Jake Elliott are from my neighborhood, and their own Jaden Reed about a half hour away.
Wow.
Who knew the Chicago Burbs were such a hotbed for NFL talent? Hope you get to relax a bit after this and have safe travels home. So thank you so much, Teapot. And I will say this, Chicago is a hotbed for Notre Dame prospects as well. So that's kind of their stomping grounds in terms of recruiting.
On the quick recount, out of the 257 picks, we only did not have 11 on the board.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So only 11 was
Did you hear that,
not
Jacob?
on the board.
And most of them were punters and kickers.
Yep. And really at the end here, just a couple of the guys like Corey Black, cornerback out of Oklahoma, Julian Ashby, long snapper out of Vanderbilt, Junior Burgeon, wide receiver out of Montana, Ty Weezy Bridges, safety out of Florida, and Kobe Minor, cornerback out of Memphis. It kind of got a little heavy there at the end, but I mean, besides that, just pretty impressive.
Yeah, we already got UDFA signings coming in here now.
Let's go.
Where's Sean Dolak signing?
Coach Lynn is saying the Packers signed running back is UDFA Amar Johnson from North Dakota State. We also, let's see here. There was another one coming through here. Oh, you guys remember Desmond Watson, the big boy that we got.
Before you move on, hold on a second, Jay. Before you move on, Omar Johnson, running back out of South Dakota State. We had a 190.3 on him. So pretty good value there, to be honest with you. Go ahead, man.
Gotcha. No, the Desmond Watson, the guy that we have the clip, the screen grab of, the giant mammoth of a man that's running that 40 at 400 plus pounds. He did get signed. There he is, baby. All 454 pounds of him is now on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Nice. The other question is, what about this guy? Here's a guy.
Undrafted right now.
Here's a guy.
I mean, Clay, to the Amar Johnson point, he's 259th on the board, so he literally would have been. I mean, that's
right there.
That is undrafted free agent territory.
That's awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. All right, Jacob, you got anything else, man? Before we wrap this,
Coach Len,
go ahead.
got a safety from UNLV, Jonathan Baldwin.
All right.
Yep.
See what we got there. Jonathan Baldwin. Did he make the board, Emilio? Jonathan Baldwin. Maybe listed as a cornerback as well.
I'm not seeing him.
On through here. Jonathan Baldwin. Oh, one got away from us, guys.
It's a negative.
Scrap the damn board.
Get out of here, Emilio. Get out of here.
I'll get to it.
He's going to add him in real quick. No, we had him. Look, he's right here. He's on the list.
I'll start working on next year's board, Jacob.
Matter of fact, we had him 40th on the board. I just forgot to add him in. So, all right. Anything else, Jacob? You good, man?
No, man. I just appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate all the hard work that everybody did as far as Emilio, you, Tim, the chat. I mean, this is the most prepared I've ever been for any kind of draft, and it's just because you guys helped us all get there. So I think this is really fun. It's gonna be fun to see what they develop into.
Definitely. Anything else?
I'm happy that we got to meet Tim in person and Kate and everybody that we met at the draft, and just being able to live it up and enjoy it, man. I'm excited, happy that we got to be in Lambeau another time, and just glad for friends and family, man.
Yeah.
We'll do a photo dump when you guys get settled and share some more photos. And it was just a great experience. Honestly, the highlight of it, really, right there, just getting to meet you guys in person and do a live show like this together. This is amazing.
Uh-oh.
Richard
Richard.
signed with the Rams.
Oh,
No, he didn't. Who said that?
It doesn't matter.
that's right.
Who said that?
Bates bought you a daddy soda to help you feel better.
United Bates with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Bates. He says, thank you for all the hard work over the past few days, fellas. Much appreciated. Go Pack Go. Bates, thank you for your kindness, man. Thank you for the support you always show. And again, special thanks to everybody who got a chance to meet up with us. And if you didn't get to come to the draft, just want to say, hopefully the posts we put up, I tried to get as much out as possible on Twitter. Hopefully you felt like you were there. That was the goal. It wasn't to go, hey, look at us. It was we wanted to try to bring the draft to you as much as we could and do that in the Patreon group as well. But Randy Cleavers with the 1999 super chat said, thanks, guys. Thank you, Randy.
Thanks, Randy. That's awesome, man.
Thank you,
Very
Randy. Appreciate you.
All right, that's it, guys. We're going to get out of here. If you would, hit that like button. If you like this type of content, scan that QR code in the upper right, or go to Packer Fan or patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. We got an awesome community growing in there for as little as $3 a month. Get you everything on the site. Just a way for us to give back to those who wanted to support the channel and get, like I said, a bunch of different stuff in there. So thank you, Barnaki. We appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words there, man. All right, we're out. We'll see y'all tomorrow night on PTA Live, 7 p.m. Central. Everybody take care.
And we go. We out.
We're out. Bye, guys.